Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Pensacola for the penultimate race in the NAMAR Code Red Series Season 3. It's event 45 of 46 on the schedule, and we're getting ready for the first of two 10-lap heat races to decide the 40-car field. Let's go through the top 10 starting lineup here. Sky Commons and Cole Deaver are on the front row. Casey Nanako and Eli Bright in row 2. Hunter Braxton, Andrew Rich, row 3. Jonathan Zorlin and Marty Johnson in row 4 with Bobo Jones and Ryan Brommer in row 5. We coming into this race with several playoff drivers in must-win situations. We'll get to that later. Here's the command for Heat 1.
Y'all come say it with me. Drivers, start your engine!
This could very well be a huge race. Oh, two drivers have stalled on the start. Or possibly just one. Jonathan Zorlin did not get going. Now he has been eliminated from the playoffs. So this will hurt him tremendously as the inside line is taking their time lining back up, and they are not in order. Adam Flickinger has been plopped to the outside of Sekuli. This could pose an issue. Brian Tremblay is taking his time moving back up towards the back of the outside line. And now Martin Wild is side by side with him. So complications going on here. Someone stalled out and we have 2-3 wide instances. These could be penalties for a few drivers here. I believe Fitzwater, Flickinger, and Wild are going to get black flags. And that likely could take them out of the race too. That's 3 more drivers along with Zorlin. But we'll have to wait and see what happens here on this first lap. It's the final super speedway on the schedule. And as mentioned, there are several drivers coming in who are in must-win situations, or pretty much like they could make it in on points, but it's a very slim chance. And those drivers are Edwin Mendez, Johnny Gardner, Skype Commons, and Seth Cole. So winning a heat race here today could be very big for them. And on the flip side, Andrew Rich, Ryan Brommer, and Dylan Young have a good points gap. They could potentially lock in depending how many cars wreck out of the race. We've gone green one lap. No one came to pit road, so it looks as if there are no penalties. Zorlin has not hit the start-finish line, so unsure. He is still on pit road. We'll see if he continues or not. If these drivers have an accident, it could potentially put Zorlin in the race if he can get on track quick enough. We've used Pensacola a lot for special events, most notably the Crown Royal 300 all the way back 1 year ago. And we saw wrecks with 24 cars on the track, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. Right now, Hunter Braxton leads the field, looking for a heat win 12 of the season. And it's really crazy to think about how Braxton has won so many heat races, but he's only won the main event twice. It's been his teammates, Lightning Rich and Logan, who have won a combined 16 races, while he and Eli Bright have only combined for 4. Right now, Braxton leading the line. You've got Sekuli in second. Frodemar Otts is up here in third, as Jesse Turner moves towards the front with Brian Tremblay on the bottom line. So potential for a different kind of heat winner here today if Braxton gets relegated to the top side. This is also a 3-mile oval compared to Daytona, which is 2.5. And we saw fuel at Daytona lasted about 9 laps, maybe 10 max. So here it's another half mile around every lap. So they've already done the equivalent to they're almost like 5 laps here. There's another half mile a lap. It's 2.5 miles, so that's another lap at Daytona. So we'll have to see when these drivers come to pit road. I believe the expectation is laps 7 to 9. As Braxton continues to lead, Sekuli to the top, right in front of Otts, as Turner will come up leading the middle. Marty Johnson now in a 4-wide situation with Tremblay, Otts, and Brommer. As Sorlin officially is out of the race with a camshaft problem. Their pit stall was past the start-finish line, so we did get an official result on why Zorlin will not make this race. Came in 13th in the points, 40 points behind Eli Bright for what will turn into 6th place in points, potentially, once 5 more drivers are eliminated. Braxton gets put to the top side by Turner and Brommer in a 3-wide battle for the lead. As Slade Jagger will be the first to come to pit road here kind of early, only on lap 6 they're coming to. That really separated the back half of the pack, as now Bobo Jones makes a move on Brommer for the lead. They're 4 wide behind him. It's Eli Bright on the bottom, Johnson in the middle, and Deaver was 3rd car up. Bobo Jones has not had a good round of 10. He was eliminated after the first round, but he missed the first 2 races of this round, and it's put him in a bit of a hole for his quest for some good points days. The Skype Commons made it 4 wide for the lead, and I believe some more drivers are pitting, and it looks like Quinton Moore's slowing up. And indeed, Commons will come down with a bunch of drivers coming to 4 to go, as Eli Bright will lead Sekuli, Braxton, Jones, Johnson, Turner, Deaver, and Brommer around the racetrack for another lap. And yes, indeed, many drivers got separated from the checkup. Or no, everyone else is actually just pitting. Okay, so Frodemar and Fitzwater got separated, so that might hurt them a little bit. Braxton's looking for the lead back here. They'll be coming to 3 to go this time by. See if everyone can make it to pit road, or if some drivers might get stuck out a lap longer than they want. Yep, Sekuli, Bright, and Jones will stay out another lap. Everyone else will come down pit road. So we'll have to see if these 3 drivers can make it on fuel 8 laps. Remember, it's 3 miles around the racetrack. So far, it looks like they're okay. But you don't want to be side by side. And Eli Bright's going to do that to Sekuli. Being side by side here could get you stuck out on the racetrack. As Sekuli will still be side by side. Oh, can he clear here right at the end? Nope, he can't. Bright and Jones pit. Sekuli is stuck staying out another lap, and I don't think he can make it 9 laps. It's just very, very narrow pit road to get onto. And Sekuli did not want to try and squeeze out a teammate there. Sekuli himself racing for 21st in the point standings, as yeah, he's running out of fuel. It's sputtering right now. And there it is, it's out. So Sekuli runs out of gas here at 2 to go because he just could not get to pit road. So 8.5 laps is the max from the looks of things. Sekuli came in 21st in the points, 13 over Nanako, 44 over Fitzwater. And he's going to have to hope he can get into the race next week at Texas, because I don't think he's going to make it here. Eli Bright and Bobo Jones will come out of pit road right next to Braxton and Johnson, who are fighting for the top spot. Commons, Turner, Moore, Ice, Wild, Romer, Fitzwater all in line. But they're coming to the white flag. One more lap to go. Sekuli, I believe, has made it to his pit stall. Yeah, he's already done fueling up. So we'll have to see if he falls out of the top 20 or not. Looks like 20th place is the 74. Oh, Casey Nanako had a bad pit stop. And yeah, right there, that's 20th place going by the 13 of Slade Jagger. So that will seal that up. We've got to get back to the front. Braxton leading, but here comes Eli Bright looking for the heat win. He'll clear Braxton through turns 3. Sorry for the bad camera work, but coming to the line, winning heat 1 will be the 88 of Eli Bright. So Bright wins his 3rd heat race of the season and his 2nd heat race of the round of 10. He won back at Darlington. He went on to win that race. So we'll have to see if Bright can do it again here at Pensacola. If a non-playoff contender wins, it would be 4 drivers advancing on points. So missing the race will be Jonathan Zorlin. Casey Nanako had a bad pit stop. Sekuli and Bako Magora. So right now Sekuli's closest competition of Casey Nanako missed the race too. So neither of them will get points. Fitzwater's 44 out. And then Deaver is 68 out. They both make the race. So they will have a good opportunity to chop down at that margin, because Texas is the final race of the season. Anyways, that's going to do it for Heat 1, and I will see you all for Heat number 2. Welcome back to Pensacola, ladies and gentlemen. We're gearing up for Heat race number 2. Eli Bright won Heat race number 1. Now let's get to your starting top 10 here in Heat 2. Edwin Mendez, Samet Oskin on the front row. Dale Lightning and Johnny Gardner in row number 2. Enzo Nareza and Seth Cole in row 3. Row 4 is James Ellison and Alan Cavanero. And in row 5 is Dylan Young and RJ Bishop. As many of you know, Matthew Logan won back at Daytona, and that locked him into the final 5. He's the only driver locked into the next round at this point. Back in round 1, we had 2 drivers locked in at this point, and back in round 2, we had 3 drivers locked in. So definitely interesting. We've gone from 2 to 3 to 1, and your pole sitter here in Heat 2 is one of the drivers who likely will need to win to advance.
Drivers, start your engine!
Everyone will get rolling here in Heat number 2. In Heat 1, we saw Sorlin had a problem, and it caused 2 rows to restart, or start the heat rather, 3 wide. So that will not happen here in Heat number 2. So Sekuli and Nanako missing out on the race. And here in Heat 2, the closest driver to that points battle is Alan Cavanero. However, he is not close enough to gain the points he needs to get 21st in the standings. But the potential, if he were to win Pensacola, he could gain a ton of points on them nonetheless. But he is 100 plus points behind Sekuli. So out of range for 21st in the standings is Alan Cavanero. Everyone takes the green flag here. And we'll see who will get the win here in Heat Number 2, we saw in Heat 1 that you can make it at max 8.5 laps. The side-by-side action ultimately hurt Sekuli. He was forced to stay out, and he was unable to get to pit road in time. And we are already going to go 4 wide for position up here. It's Mendez on the top, Lightning 1 lane down, then Nareza, then Ellison all the way on the bottom. And Heat 2 has shown to be, at super speedway races, the more chaotic race. Could we see an accident here in Heat 2? Reminder that the playoff drivers in Heat 2 are locked into the race no matter where they finish. That includes Logan, Young, Lightning, Gardner, Mendez, and I'm forgetting one. I believe there were 6 in Heat 2. Young, Logan, Lightning, Gardner, Mendez, and Seth Cole. So they are all locked in no matter where they finish. Seth Cole has actually, I think, got the record right now. He's used 3 provisionals to advance into the main event here in the playoffs, and he has made it to the round of 10, mostly due to those provisionals. I think without some of them in the round of 15, he probably could have been eliminated. Going for the lead on James Ellison is Nico Tringali, Jackson King, Cole Baker, second and third on the bottom. Baker actually got 3rd place at Daytona. Teammate Benjamin Ice ended up finishing in 5th. Meanwhile, teammate Jackson King is the only one from that team without a top 10 on the season. In fact, he's the highest driver in the points without a top 10, 40th in the standings out of 48. Slade Jagger, Baco Magora, and Chris Wheeler also without top 10s. Magora missed out on the race. Jagger made it in. Wheeler will have to wait and see, as there is some 4 wide going on there between Logan and Voiles, as Tringali leads the pack. You see Wheeler trailing at the back of the field. The highest driver without a top 5 on the season is Jesse Turner, 27th in the points. As Corey Riggs will go for the lead here on Tringali. We could have an upset heat winner here today. It's probably the last chance we'll get to see it happen potentially. Texas is probably going to be more a top tier team kind of track. As Lightning will make it 3 wide, Catano and Tringali to his outside. As we're still clean and racing here. Of course, no caution flags in heat races regardless. As now Corey Riggs races side by side with Nico Tringali for the top spot. Mendez will make a move. That'll make it, I believe, 3 wide. Potentially a 4 wide situation there between Watson and Catano. Ooh, that contact lasted a long time. That could have been dangerous. But right now, Riggs does not have enough speed to complete the pass on Tringali, as Ellison will be the driver to pit from lap 5. We saw Jagger do it in Heat 1. Ellison was at the back of the field, so it was not a terrible decision on his part. As we're going to go 3 wide for the lead here. That's Nareza on the bottom. Tringali still making the top line work. He's got Baran-Auskas pushing him. As Oskin looks to clear the 93, Alexander Rowe will get put into the sucker hole trying to help the 22 out. And now he's 4 wide with Mendez. As now we'll see who on the bottom line comes to pit road, as they're all spacing out, getting ready for that maneuver. Yep, Logan's coming in. Oskin, Cavanero, Gardner, and Bishop, along with a few others. And the pack will once again split up due to checking up. Nareza and Riggs will be the 2 to pull away. Alexander Rowe in 4th place is kind of going to hold these guys up. They might make them go 2 or 3 wide yet again if Dylan can't get by them, or by this driver, I should say. Yep, there's the move by Dylan Young. Tringali trying to draft up to Riggs and the Reza. Does Riggs make a move, or does he stay in line for the pit stop? And here he comes, along with Dylan Young and others. Alexander Rowe, Seth Cole, Mendez, and Baran-Oscus will be the 4 to stay on track. They are in a 3 wide situation right now. They might want to get that tamed down if they're all going to pit here. Remember, you can make it 8 laps, but you cannot make it 9. Running out of gas, not something you want to do. Seth Cole, Mendez, they're locked into the race. Alexander Rowe and Baran-Oscus, on the other hand, are not. Yep, Mendez will check up, but it looks like it'll be Seth Cole staying out another lap, and if he can somehow make it. Yep, see there again, he tried to get down, but just no space. So Rowe, Baran-Oscus, and Mendez stay out, and now we wait to see how long Seth Cole can make it. So another JD Motorsports car forced to stay out to avoid contact with the teammate. Luckily for Seth Cole, he'll make the race regardless of where he finishes. If he does finish sub-top 20, it'll be the 4th time in the playoffs he'd have to rely on that buffer. And there it is once again, down the back straightaway. It starts to sputter. And right there, he's out of gas. And he will have to refer to that provisional lock-in. Alexander Rowe, first of his group off pit road, but he's already getting passed by Riggs and the Reza, who've got a bumper full coming of Cavanero, Logan, Oskin, and others. Tringali, Benny Watson with a huge run. Daniel Voiles as well going on by. Seth Cole just getting to his pit stall now. And a very quick splash and go stop, I believe, for the 15. None, looks like that took longer than it probably could have. White flag is out though. Battle is on up here. Could Enzo Nareza score a heat victory? Here comes Matthew Logan, looking to get Junior Motorsports what would be their 5th sweep. 5th front row sweep. And I believe the third one of the playoffs, if he can pull it off here. But Nareza's holding pretty strong. It'll have to be somewhere here in 3 and 4. Here comes Matthew Logan, looking to get another heat win. Doesn't look like he's going to have enough. Off of turn 4, it'll be Enzo Nareza winning heat race number 2 here at Pensacola. That is his 4th heat victory of the season. And he will get to start on the front row with Eli Bright in roughly an hour or so. So it'll be Nareza and Bright on the front row. Let's take a look and see who is missing out on the race. Of course, Seth Cole gets in on the provisional, so it'll be Chris Wheeler, Wyatt Anderson, Lucas Catano, and Colt Hudson missing out on the event. And that will do it for me here in Heat 2. I will see you guys for the main event. 50 laps of action here at Pensacola. See you then.